Good morning, folks. My name is Henry Arth, and it's another Tip Tuesday with IndySoft here. And today I just got a quick hitter. We've touched on default companies for your ad edit lists before. So I kind of wanted to give you a cool tip that I found out in the past 2 weeks. And this is going to be particularly useful for laboratories and folks who have multiple companies, people they service, where they need an exception for their actual ad edit list. So maybe on their equipment view, for example, this is something that I have a lot of customers doing for the owner field. Instead of it being somebody who owns it internally, it's actually a point of contact while the techs are on the road. So we would want that probably underneath that individual company's list. Well, simultaneously, what we want is when we run an event, we don't want to access that company's list. So when we go into our default companies, and we go into our user location settings, and this pops open here. If I go down to my default company portion here, basically if I have nothing input here, right, that means whichever company we're under, we're going to access that ad edit list. But we don't want to be continually building out these lists, getting a bunch of data that doesn't make any sense. So how do we separate an events ad edit list from everything else? So we actually have that feature built right into the software. So as you can see, if I access, I'm an ABC company right now. If I go into my ad edit list, I'm going to go down to equipment information, employee, to my employees. And I'm going to see that our ABC company, thanks to Mike Lynn, I've got Fred Flintstone, Homer Simpson, and John Doe, of course. It's a very popular user, actually. And then we've also got another company, Acme Manufacturing. And I've got Arthur, Deflator Mouse, and the Tick. So, how do we get to access Acme while in ABC Company, but ABC Company while in ABC Company too? So, right now, if I go down to my owner field, now I have this in here, but I actually see that's the ABC Company. And that's because I don't have a company selected in my default company list. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to Fred Flintstone. Great. But what I'm actually going to do is there is a very obscure, little-known feature of the software, however, very awesome. It's right here. And this is actually where you can set exceptions to events to access different lists. So follow along here. The instructions are right there in front of you, but it still may be a little confusing. The first field that you're going to use is current company. So I used all because I want it to be every single event, no matter which company that I'm actually on currently. But you can also specifically hone in on one company and have an exception for that one company. And then we've got the employee, which is the field. Okay, so when I'm in an event, anything that accesses the employee list, this is what we're affecting. The number 1 after the next caret specifies whether it is in an event or not. If you have 1, then it's event related. If you have a 0, then it's not event related. What does that mean? Basically, 1 means it's in events only, and a 0 means it's an override for anything that is not an event. So your order system, equipment view, etc. And that next field is actually the specific event. If you are using an event, then that is the specific event. You can also put all, if you want all events to access your actual company. And then lastly, the name of the company that you want to be referencing. So I've got, for any situation where there's an employee list, in every single event, I want to access the Acme Manufacturing list. Now this does not affect anything on the equipment view or order system view. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK. And OK. And of course, I'm going to reload my settings because it will require you to reload your settings. And then if I open up my actual event here, and I go to calibration, and I'm under ABC Company, and I pull down John Doe, well, I'm referencing my Acme Manufacturing list. So that's going to happen for every single event that I have. Anyway, thought that was a really cool feature, something very useful that, again, I didn't know about. I'm constantly learning. That's what's cool about the software. There's tons of stuff, tons of features. So I hope you're all doing well out there. Hope you have a great week and happy Tip Tuesday.